what's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. This is this is the videos I like to do. Just me sitting up thinking about stuff. Do I like doing videos evaluating quarterbacks and wide receivers and teams and defensive players? Yeah, sure. Why not? Uh, but these are the videos that I really like to do. Just me sitting back thinking about stuff. Now, granted, obviously I'm a sports channel. I have to keep up with all the news on, football, college football, basketball, whatever the case may be. But these are the videos I really like to do. And one of the things I would like to talk about, and this might be shocking, especially coming from my channel, is Roger Goodell overhated? And I know what you might be saying, RJ, you've done multiple videos taking a dump all over Roger Goodell, which, is justifiably so. Roger Goodell's a clown. He's an idiot. He's stupid. But I like to talk about this. You have to realize something. Roger Goodell became the commissioner of the NFL in 2007, 2006-ish, somewhere around there. Roger Goodell took over a league when society was changing. And let me explain. Society now is so pussified, it's not even funny. It's not even funny how crazy society, now granted, I think society is coming back to normalization, but society around the late 2000s, 2010s has become so pussified, so feminine, and I mean this in a literal term, gay, that Roger Goodell is taking over a league that's, quote, toxically masculine or masculine per se. Prime example, the whole Ray Rice situation. He had to take over that. He was put in a bad light with Roger Goodell. Not Roger Goodell, with Ray Rice. Am I saying what Ray Rice did? Am I defending Ray Rice? No. But anybody who's watched the tape knows that that's a toxic relationship that Ray Rice and his wife, whoever she is, I don't know her name, nor do I really care about her name. They were in a toxic relationship. They're both in the wrong. But obviously Ray Rice is going to get the blame because he's a black man and, he's just a man and men are always going to get the fault for everything. But Roger Goodell had to sit back and be like, dang, we never dealt with this. Let's be for real, football players have been beating the crap out of women for years, and no one cares because they can run a football, catch a football, throw a football, or tackle the dudes who have the football. But it wasn't until this instant where Roger Goodell was like, dang, what am I? We're going to suspend him for 2 games. That's how the norm is. But we lived in a society where the Me Too and the whole, all this other BS was like, no, you got to do something. We want his head. We want his head, Roger. And that's how we got Ezekiel Elliott getting suspended for 10 games for something that he didn't do. But that's what Roger Goodell had to take over. Is Roger Goodell a clown? Yes. But Roger Goodell is only doing what the owners want him to do. Let's move into it further. This society has gotten so pussified and so against masculinity or toxic masculinity, and I don't care. It's my channel. Is that he has to deal with the whole concussion CTE problem, which means, we can't play football anymore. You can't hit receivers. You can't hit quarterbacks. You can't hit anybody. And that takes away from the football. And he had to deal with that, change the rules, which got a lot of people upset because, you're making football soft. What do you want Roger Goodell to do? He got sued for $1.8 billion from players and players' families from CTE. Now, granted, do I want to see NFL players get CTE? Absolutely not. But I also like boxing. I also like UFC. Those guys have CTE too. Now, granted, I think Roger Goodell needs to do a better job at taking care of players who retire, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, he has to deal with that. So the rule changes and stuff like that. Listen, anybody who's watched my channel knows that I am against the rule changes. I think the NFL is beyond horrible from both ends, offensive and defensively. But you can't blame Roger Goodell for this. What is he supposed to do? What? Is he supposed to just pay off the money and have more guys sue for more billions of dollars? That's going to put the NFL in bankruptcy. moving on to that, the whole Bountygate thing in the late 2000s. You got to realize the NFL is a quote toxic masculinity, really a masculine sport. Majority of men like it. I don't care what the statistics say. I don't care I don't care how much the NFL pays these women to commentate, whatever the case may be. It's a man's sport. So the whole Bountygate situation is a huge problem. He had to take over that. Let's be for real. Bountygate's been a thing since football started. Now, did the Saints take it up a level? Sure. But the Saints made it to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, you have the Me Too movement. You have all these women. You have all these queers. And you have all these gays. You have this feminist society coming at something that everybody knows is real. You're telling me the Ravens didn't have a Bountygate? You telling me the Steelers back in the day didn't have a Bountygate? You telling me the Bengals back in the day didn't have a Bountygate? Did the Saints take it up a notch? Sure. But it's football. Obviously, coaches are gonna be like, yeah, target that dude. Let's get him out the game. Let's get him out the game. But once again, Roger Goodell had to take over that. It's not Roger Goodell's fault that Sean Payton and what's this dude's name? The Greg guy. It's not Greg Roman, I don't think. No, Greg Roman. I don't think it's Greg Roman. I'm forgetting his name. Someone in the comment section can correct me, but it's not his fault that, these guys are clowns and they can't, hide their paper trails. That's not his fault. And then also, let's also take into the fact, back in the 2000s, steroids was a huge problem. Now, anybody who's been on my channel, and I still need to make a video about this, I still will, but steroids became a huge problem, specifically in baseball, and obviously, they're going to contribute steroids to football because there's a bunch of jacked up men tackling each other. Obviously, these guys have steroids. Obviously. You have to be an idiot or you have to be very naive to sit here and say that steroids is not a big thing. But once again, Roger Goodell had to take over that. And then also, just to add a little icing on the cake, Deflategate. You also have to take that into account. But I said all that to say this, is that we can sit here and criticize Roger Goodell, and trust me, I do, and I probably will in the future. But I can't. When you look at the era that this guy has taken over, do you think Roger Goodell wants to change football? Do you think Roger Goodell wants to deal with Ray Rice and all this other stuff? But you have to look at the era, the Me Too movement, the pussification of just society as a whole and men as a whole. He has to do what he has to do to keep this league running. And it's got me sitting back and thinking, like, have we overhated this guy? Is Roger Goodell doing his job? Is Roger Goodell just really doing his job? Sometimes, if you're a principal of a school, if you're a manager or a boss at a job, you got to do stuff that that the customers or that the employees don't like. But you gotta, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think that might be the case here with Roger Goodell. Just think of all the events, and I'm probably leaving out a lot of events of this. Now, does Roger Goodell help himself in a lot of cases? No. Me personally, if I was Roger Goodell, I would say screw the Me Too movement, screw all you hoes, screw all you queers, screw all y'all. If y'all don't like football, then go watch Squid Games or something like that. Go watch something else. But I don't think Roger Goodell's built like that. But also, that's not the best way to do it, especially in these PC times. Like people got to realize PC is just starting to get attacked now. Back in 2006 and 2014, if you weren't PC, your career was over. Anybody who wasn't PC back then, anybody who wasn't on the women are victims, you got to support this movement, that movement and stuff, you got criticized. But it's a food for thought. You know what I'm saying? It's a food for thought. Let me know if you guys like videos like this. It just had my mind wandering. Like, have I hated on Roger Goodell as much? Now, granted, once again, Roger Goodell does do stupid stuff. I'm not denying that, but in the context of business, he does make sense. But that's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ out.